Hey guys, welcome back to Sudoku Maniacs. So continuing with our variations, we have a sequence Sudoku for you today. However, before we go ahead with that, there is some important information that I wanted to share with you all. You'll be happy to know that in the month of August, we are going to be having not one but two live sessions. That's right. No, you will not be seeing me solve, so don't worry about that. But the surprise package is the first live session will have the 2016 World Sudoku Champion Teet Wang solving a Sudoku for us online, showcasing his solving talent, post which he will explain to us what is the approach that he normally uses when solving a Sudoku. It would be a wonderful opportunity to get an insight into how world champions think and approach a puzzle. So keep an eye out. We will be letting you know the date and the exact time of that live session, but this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to not miss that. So keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and the bell icon is clicked so that you receive the notifications because we are still yet to finalize the date and time. However, that was the first bit. The second is on the 15th of August, we'll have our second live session. The time is not finalized as yet. And this time, our guest will be the director at the World Puzzle Federation and one of the best solvers in the world that we have today, Prasanna Seshadri of India. So he also will be sharing his solving skills, his approach and techniques, and both these people in their respective live sessions will be taking questions from you all. So make sure you have all the details and the questions ready with you when you come for that live session. And hopefully, if the response is good and people would like more of that, we'll ensure that we keep at least one live session every month for you. All right? Yep, that was the good thing that we wanted to share with you. So, coming back to our puzzle, this was a sequence Sudoku that I created about 10 years back, I would say. The link to solve this online would obviously be there in the description, along with the link for a bonus puzzle that I created again for you guys. So both the links will be there in the description. Now the rules. Rules of classic Sudoku apply. Additionally, we see that some lines are drawn across the grid. What it means is the digits along the line share an arithmetic progression. That is, the difference between two sequential digits along the line will always be the same. The difference could be 1, it could be 2 or 3 depending on the length of the line. So it forms a sequence with the same difference. So how do we normally proceed with these? Now before we actually jump into the puzzle, there are a few things that we always need to keep in mind. The digits 1 and 9 will never occur in the middle of the line. They will always occupy the extremes if at all they are falling on the line. Alright? And the length of the line determines or gives us a lot of insights into how to proceed into it. For example, if there is a line, a minimum of length 5 cells, passing through 5 cells rather, then we know for sure the digit 5 will always be in the line. At which position, that can be determined while solving. But you can be assured that the digit 5 will be there on the line for a line that has a minimum length of 5. Obviously, if the length of the line is 6 cells, then the 4, 5 and 6, these are the 3 digits that will always be there on the line. And for lines which are more than 5 cells in length, their difference will always be 1. That is, the arithmetic progression difference will always be 1. Alright? So having said that, let's jump onto the puzzle. Now, when I look There are only two givens that are there, but I have two lines which are really long. They are passing through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cells. So when you have a line that is passing through 9 cells, it means that all the 9 digits will fall on this line, and there will obviously never be any repetitions. So whatever be the direction, the digit 5 will always be in the fifth cell. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. This would be a 5. So that means this could be a 4, 6. This is a 3, 7 and a 3, 7. Because the 3 and 7, the 2s and 8s, these are all probabilities based on which direction the line, the sequence will progress. It's never left to right or top to bottom. The direction could be any direction. Alright, so we got one digit. Now let's move to the next bigger line. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, we have a 9 cell line. So the fifth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my fifth one. So this would be a 4, 6, 4, 6, a 3, 7, 2, 8, and a 1, 9. Alright. Now, so we have got a pair of 2 and 8 in column 6. Alright. Let's keep our focus on these longer lines for now. Now, if our row 8 column 1 was a 1, this would be a 9, right? Which basically means these are two different digits. So the the digit that will come in row 9 column 6, in box 7 there's only one place for that digit to be, and that is row 7 column 1. This is how we need to find out the relationships between how the digits on the line are interacting. Correct? Because say if this was a 9, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9 cannot be in this, so there's only one place. Clear? Now we have this as a 1, 9, this also as a 1, 9. How do we determine whether they're going to be the same digit or a different digit? The reason being, let's focus on the 2, 8 pair. Now if this was a, say, 2, this would be a 1, right? Which would make this an 8 and this as a 9. So what that tells us is that 1 or 9 in row 4 column 5 will always be different from the 1 or 9 in row 9 column 6. Hence, if this was an x, the x in box 2 will be logged in column 4, correct? And by classic rules, column 4, this is in column 5, this would have to be a 1 and a 9. And that is how we use these constraints. So now we got a pair of 1, 9, we got a pair of 2 and 8. Let's have a look at this 7 that was given. So in box 8, the 7 is logged in column 5. So it cannot be in these three. Obviously, it's not in these three. This is a 5, this is a 4, 6. So the only place the 7 can be is in row 3, column 6. So that becomes our 7, which makes this a 6, 8, and a 9. And in the opposite direction, obviously, that's a 4, 3, 2, and a 1. And if this was a 9, so this would be in 1, 2, so that's a 9. And this will be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9, which makes this a 1. See, we have made some progress. Now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2. So this has to be a 3 and a 4. Alright. For now, we'll park it as it is. 7 cannot be here. 7 cannot be in these two. So this has to be a 7. Missing digits are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. We have a 5 and 8 here. So this has to be a 6, which makes this as a 5. Now we'll come back to a 3 and 4 here. So now we need to determine the order they are going to be placed. If this were a 3, this would become a 4, and sequentially that 5 and a 6. But we already got a 6 in the column. So we cannot have a 3 here. So that's a 4 with a 3, and decreasing it goes to 2 and a 1, which makes this a 6 and a 5 to complete the box. So that gives me the 5 and 8 here, right? Now I have this. What are the missing digits? 2, 3 and 8. 2, 3 and 8. 2, 3 and 8. Now what do we do in such a scenario? Now we know that this line is of 3 cells, correct? Which means the edges of the line will always be of the same parity. Either both will be odd or both will be even. I cannot have a 2 and a 3 here because that would require a digit which is greater than 2 and less than 3 simultaneously, which is just not possible. Neither will 3 and 8 form a proper sequence, correct? So we know for sure that 3 has to be out there. So this would be a 2 and 8, and with the 2 here, that becomes an 8, that's a 2. And I require a digit which has the same difference with 8 and 2. And the best way to do is 8 plus 2 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 gives me a 5. That's the mathematical way of doing it, especially for when you have a line of 3 cells. Good so far? Alright, now we had a 5. Let's look at this. I cannot have a difference of 2 because 5, 7, 9, 11 or 5, 3, 1 and minus 1 both don't fit. So obviously it has to be a difference of 1. So with 5, I can't have a 6. So this has to be a 4, 3 and a 2. And the last digit becomes a 9, 8 and 1 to complete the box. Right? Now, so what are the missing digits in row 1? 4, 6 and 7. So this is a 6. So this has to be a 4, 7, 4, 6, 4, 6, 7. Alright. So now let's see how do the digits form a sequence here. If this was a 4, this would be a 6. This would become an 8. That's definitely possible. If this were a 7, I could have a 6, difference of 1, so which would make that a 5. But we already got a 5, so that will not work. But if this was a 7 and a 4 with a difference of 3, that would push a 1 here. Right? 7, 4, 1 is still an arithmetic progression. But unfortunately, we also have a 1 in row 2. So we can't have 1. So with 7, no digit fits the series. So we can safely eliminate that. So with the 4 gone, that becomes a 6. And we get a 7. So 4 and 6, difference of 2. And incrementally, we get an 8. Alright? Classic rules 2, 2. I can't have a 2 here. I got a 2. So this has to be a 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells. So difference has to be 1. This will obviously be 3, 4, 5 and 6 because I can't have a 1 here because then I will have to decrease and go into the negative numbers. 5, 5. This becomes a 5 by classic rules. 4, 4. That's a 4. 1 cannot be here because of this 1. So 1 is logged in column 7 here, which makes this a 1 and a 7. And 1 cannot be on the line because the 2, 3, 4 and 5 are already occupied. So if I had a 1, next number here possible would be a 7 with a difference of 6. So 1, 7 and 13 is just not possible. So I can safely place the 1 here. Alright. The remaining digits here are 6 and 9. Now let's see. 6 cannot be here by classic rules. So that's a 6. Which makes this a 7, 8 and a 9 because I can't have a 6, 8 or 10. And the last digit 7, 8 and 9 and we wrap up the box. Right? So this obviously is a 6 and a 9. So you see how the lines have helped us progress though there were only 2 givens. So now let's have a look at these 3 cells. The missing digits are 3, 6 and 7. 6 cannot be here, so this is a 6. Now if 7 cannot be there, that's a 6, 3 and 7. So 3, 6, increase of 3. So 6 plus 3 will be a 9. And this becomes a 9. By classic rules, the remaining digits in row 3 are 1 and 3. So 3, 3 and 3. That means this is a 2, 4. Missing digits here are 2, 5. Alright. here we are missing 1 and 5. We got a 1, that's a 5 and a 1, so that's a 2 and a 5, so that's a 4 and a 2, we have 4 and a 8. So while we are solving this sequence Sudoku, it's always important to use the lines to eliminate possibilities and always look to start from lines which are more than 5 cells in length. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now I have a new puzzle for you as I mentioned earlier. The links are there in the description. Go ahead, try it out on your own. I know at the start this looked difficult, but once we got into the puzzle, it turned out to be very easy, and that this similar scenario will always appear when you're solving a sequence Sudoku. The start always looks tough, but once you find the breakthrough, it just becomes so easy. Do let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And if you did enjoy the video, do like it, subscribe to the channel, spread the word. And don't forget to keep an eye out on our channel because we'll soon be announcing the dates and the exact time when we'll be having the live sessions with T Twang, the 2016 World Champion, as well as the World Puzzle Federation Director Prasanna Seshadri on August 15th. For Prasanna, the date is finalized, but we just need to finalize the time. So till the next time, happy solving!